Hello and welcome. I'm Joseph Hoffman, and today we're going to learn how to play one of the world's most beloved traditional Christian hymns, Amazing Grace. This video tutorial is my Level 2 tutorial, which means that it will require that you have some prior piano experience. You definitely don't need to be an advanced player to handle this tutorial, but about 2 or more years piano experience will be helpful, since we'll be playing hands together using chords in the left hand and melody in the right hand with several hand position shifts. If you'd like an easier tutorial, please check out my preparatory level tutorial. Or for more advanced players, you might enjoy my Level 4 tutorial. All right, let's come to the piano to get started. So first, let's learn the right hand part. Here in the treble staff, you'll notice we're in a 3/4 time signature, and we have just this one beat all alone, which tells us we have a pickup beat, which means we start on beat 3. Finger 1 here on treble G is beat 3, and then we come right up, finger 3 on treble C, which you'll notice is just a slight stretch up from G, finger 1, to C, finger 3. And that's important that you use finger 3 there because we're about to play an E and you'll need finger 5 for that. So we have Amazing Grace, how sweet. And then here we need finger 2 on A. So again, we're gonna have to just stretch one extra note down to A, finger 2, finger 1 on G. Okay, so all together. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Now, I'd like you to press pause and work on that phrase on your own. Don't forget to hold those half notes for 2 beats. 1, 2, T, T, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's important that we not just play the right notes, but the correct rhythms as well. Press pause to work on that phrase on your own. Then when you feel like you've got it, press play to go on. Okay, the next phrase begins essentially the same way with this G, then finger 3 moves up to C, then E, C, E. Now here we change a little bit. Finger 2 has to slide over to D so our finger 5 can reach up to this G. For that saved a wretch like me. Okay. See how I did that? Once our finger 5 was on E, we've got to shift finger 2 to the D, and then finger 5 can reach up to that G. All right, now press pause and work on that phrase on your own, starting from this G, C. Work all the way through that phrase, then press play to go on. So putting those 2 phrases together, we get 2, 3, 1, 2. Shift the hand. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And it's very important you hold that note for 5 beats. Note it's a dotted half note tied to a half note. That's 3 plus 2, 5 beats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Then we get I once was lost. E, G, E, G, E, C. Now, will you try that? Good. Now here you have to just pick up your hand and glide it down to G for but now am found. Okay, so watch it from I once was lost. I once was lost. Move your hand. But now am found. Okay, now will you press pause and work on that and get used to that little hand shift that you need to do. Good, so you have I once was lost, but now am found. Now it's just like the beginning. Was on blind, move finger 3 back up to C, but now I see. And then you've got the whole thing. Okay, now that we have all of the phrases, I'd like you to press pause once again and just play through the melody a couple of times. Make sure that you're really comfortable with it before we add the left-hand chords. Again, I really encourage you to pay attention to the rhythms, not just the notes. Hold the half notes for 2 beats. Hold that dotted half note tied to the half note for 5 beats. Be really conscious of the rhythms as you practice this. So press pause, practice on your own, then play to go on. Now let's come down to the bass staff to check out these chords. The first beat of the left hand is a rest. As the right hand plays its G, the left hand is resting, and then on beat 1 of the first full measure, the left hand plays a C major chord, C, E, G. Just a basic C major chord. You'll notice it's a dotted half note, which means we hold it for 3 beats. So let's forget about the melody for a minute and just focus on the left hand. Play this C major chord with me, and let's count 1, 2, 3. Go. 1, 2, 3. Then we do that again. Go. 1, 2, 3. Now you'll notice we have a new chord. These top 2 notes both step up. Bottom note stays the same. That gives us an F major chord or a 4 chord, which the fingering I suggest you use, just slide your finger 1, which is your thumb, up 1 key, and use finger 1, 2, and 5 for those 3 notes. 1, 2, 5 is the fingering for the 4 chord, or this F major chord. Let's practice going from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, which is also, we could say C major, going to F major, and you're going to have to go back and forth, so make sure you're comfortable with that. Good, let's do it from the beginning. Play the chords and count out loud with me. Go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Now the 4 chord. 1, 2. Back to the 1 chord. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2. Another C chord. Good, now we have a new chord. This time the top note stays put and the bottom 2 notes step down. So how we're going to do that is keep finger 1 planted and let all your other fingers shift over. So now you'll have finger 1, 3, and 5 on these 3 keys. 1, 3, 5, and that gives us a G major or 5 chord. Some of you might be familiar with a 5-7 chord. This is slightly different. It's just a 5 chord, G, B, and D. Okay, so practice going from this 1 chord. Shift all your fingers except your thumb down a step for the 5 chord. And we have 2 of those. Okay? So again, come back to this 1 chord. Now 2 5 chords. 3 beats each. Then back to the 1 chord. Good. Now we have a C7 chord. How you're going to do that is your finger 2 is going to come up to G and your finger 1 has to play this B flat. Now, it can feel really awkward to twist your hand, so what you're going to do is slide your hand forward, go deep into the black keys so your thumb can comfortably reach. You're not going to twist your hand to reach the black key. You're going to slide forward so your finger 2 is playing way up in here for that C7 chord. That's a really nice sounding chord. Listen. I once was lost. Okay, so practice going from this 1 chord up to the C7 chord. And see how comfortable you can make that by just gliding your hand forward. Okay, press pause if you need more practice with that. Otherwise, let's keep going down to the next chord, which is a 4 chord again. Remember how we did that? So basically your fingers 1 and 2 are moving from here on B flat and G down to A and F. But your pinky is staying planted on that C on the bottom. So you get this, here's your C7, going to your 4 chord or your F chord. Okay, now practice just back and forth between these 2 chords with me. Okay, just go back and forth until you feel really comfortable with that. And then that comes back down to our 1 chord. Okay, now we're almost there. Next chord up is this A minor chord. And to do that, all you have to do is to slide your thumb up 1, but you're going to continue to play the C and E. So an A minor chord is built on A, C, E, but we're taking that A and putting it on top. So it's very similar to our F major 4 chord. It's only different by this one key. We've got C, E, and A for that A minor chord. And then everything steps down. Just move your hand down a step for this 5 chord again. Remember that chord? So we had this A minor. Basically, you take your hand as a unit and move everything down a step for the G chord, and then come back to our C major chord. Watch that one more time. We have A minor with C, E, A. Everything steps down, B, D, G, and then it comes back to C. Okay, now that we've been through all the chords, press pause and go through all of those on your own. Make sure you're really comfortable with that, and then we'll work on putting it hands together. Now, when you're putting a piece hands together, you want to really pay attention to when the notes line up. For example, you'll see that here at the start, the right hand plays all by itself. Then we play together. Now the right hand plays 2 notes by itself. Then we play together, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you'll kind of see a pattern that the left hand is always playing on beat 1. So it might be helpful to count the beat as you're playing hands together at first. We start on beat 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Why don't you press pause and try just that much hands together. Before you try hands together, you might want to review just the right hand alone once, then the left hand alone once, then maybe do it again, right hand alone, left hand alone, then try it hands together. Then press play to go on. Now, I'd like to demonstrate the whole thing for you hands together, but I'd like you to choose either left hand alone or right hand alone to play. Or if you're ready for the challenge of playing it hands together, you can try that too. But I recommend, if this is your first time through, go ahead and just choose either left hand or right hand, just so you can hear how it all fits together. I'll play both hands, but you can choose just one hand to try. I'll count 2 beats, 1, 2, and then we'll start on beat 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Good. Now feel free to rewind and try the other hand while I play it. Or again, once you feel ready, you can try it hands together. The last thing I'd like to show you today is how you can play this song, this hymn, along with a backing track, which you can download or stream through the Hoffman Academy website. And I encourage you to try this once you've got this mastered so you can enjoy playing it along with, we've got cello and flute and violin and harp to make this sound even more beautiful. Let me demonstrate how that's going to sound. So you'll get your hands in position and you'll notice that the backing track or the accompaniment track has an introduction. So you'll just kind of wait for the introduction and then you'll begin. Ready, go. quieter verse. One more verse. Nice work today, and thank you for learning Amazing Grace with me. I hope that you find peace and joy in playing this hymn, and I hope to see you again later. Mr. Hoffman? Yes, Scuba? What's a wretch? Well, a wretch is someone who feels wretched, which means they don't have any hope. They feel terrible inside. But why? Because they feel worthless and unloved, unlovable. But no one is worthless. That's right, Scuba. But sometimes people make mistakes, or certain things might happen to them that make them feel that way, like there's just no hope for them. But grace is a powerful gift that can take someone who feels wretched and hopeless, and it literally transforms them into someone who feels great love and joy. Wow. So how do you get grace? Well, let me tell you the story of the man who wrote the lyrics to Amazing Grace, and that might help you understand. Okay. The man was John Newton, and he was born in London, England in the year 1725. His mother died when he was only 7 years old, and his father, who was a shipmaster, took him to sea to work on voyages from the time he was only 11. Gosh, sounds like a crummy childhood. Well, his young adult life only got worse. Before he was 20 years old, he had been captured at sea and forced to join the Royal Navy. When he tried to escape, he was captured again and whipped severely. Oh no. Soon after that, he transferred ships, only to end up in Africa as a mistreated and abused servant to a royal family. Poor guy. Well, fortunately, John's father, who by that time had retired from sailing, asked a sea captain to help search for his lost son. The sea captain found John, rescued him, and was bringing him home to England when a terrible storm struck off the coast of Ireland. John awoke in the middle of the night and saw water rushing into his boat. The ship was sinking, and John thought he was going to die. In that moment of distress, John called out in prayer to God. According to John's own account, at that moment, the cargo in the ship shifted in such a way to block the water from rushing in, and the ship was able to safely make it home. Wow! That day marked the beginning of John's conversion to Christianity. From that day forward, John started reading the Bible. He stopped drinking and gambling. Later in his life, he retired from sailing and actually became a minister. And eventually he worked to end the shameful slave trade of which he himself had participated in. Wow, that's a big change of heart. It certainly is. And that is the power of grace. John Newton certainly knew what it felt like to be wretched. And he truly felt that it was God's grace that had saved him and literally brought him safely home. Wow. Thanks for telling me that amazing story, Mr. Hoffman. Hey, Amazing Grace. It really is amazing. Yes, it is.